All right, thank you very much. Welcome, everybody, and we're going to go ahead and reconvene our meeting today. We'll go ahead and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and place your right hand over your heart and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, just please join me in a moment of silence. I know last meeting I actually talked about gun violence. This week we actually placed a resolution on our board agenda. But as you know, yesterday also we faced gun violence close to home with 2 police officers from El Monte being gunned down. So let's keep everybody who lost their lives due to gun violence in our memories and take a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our closed session report. Mr. O'Neill.
Yes, thank you. 5.1, no reportable action taken regarding public employee performance evaluation, superintendent. 5.2, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the settlement agreement of OAH case number 2022040770, resolving all issues in students' due process complaint by providing compensatory services and other reimbursement. 5.3, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the settlement agreement in OAH case number 2022040569, resolving all issues in students' due process complaint by amending students' IEP, providing assessment and reimbursement. 5.4, no reportable action taken regarding negotiations. 5.5, no reportable action taken regarding personnel. 5.6, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to rescind the non-reelection of employee HR 2021-22-10 for the next school year. 5.7, this item was pulled prior to the adoption of the agenda. 5.8, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to make the following appointment effective July 1st, 2022. Juan Alvarez, Assistant Principal, Sycamore Junior High School. Thank you.
All right, well, we appointed a few administrators last meeting as well, and I'd like to invite all 3 of them to come out and say a few words and introduce their families. So I'll start out with Jennifer Sesai, Principal, Walker Junior High.
Thank you so much, Board President Al-Jabbar. I appreciate it. I first would like to thank our Board of Trustees and our Cabinet for this amazing opportunity. When I was an 8th grader at Walker Junior High School, I told my home economics teacher that one day I wished to return and be the home economics teacher at Walker Junior High. Little did I know at the time that I would return and become the home economics teacher there, but later would return as both an assistant principal and now as the principal. So this is truly a dream come true for me, and I thank you for this opportunity. I would also like to thank Jennifer Brown, the amazing Jennifer Brown, who has been just a force at Walker and will be huge shoes to fill. So I would like to thank her and wish her the best of luck at Cypress High School. I know she's going to do amazing. I would also like to thank Dr. Renee Bryant for all her support and encouragement for pursuing my dreams. My mentor, Ron Hoshi, is also in the audience. He's been my mentor since I was 14 years old. So I'd like to thank him for being my choir teacher and really just pushing me throughout my life. I'd also like to thank Colin Pone, who's here. I'm so fortunate we sat across from each other in Miss Van Hunnick's word processing class. And I thank him for our support, as well as my parents who have been actively involved in the Anaheim Union High School District as parent volunteers. So I want to thank my parents as well. I look forward to going back to Walker and serving the community and just being part of all the support and love there. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, are your parents in the audience? Okay, I would
right,
love them
stand
to
up.
stand up and get recognized.
All right.
Let's give them a big round. All right, thank you very much, Jennifer. Next is Edgar Cartagena, Assistant Principal at Anaheim High School.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here today. I really wanted to say thank you all for this privilege and honor it is going to be for me to serve the Anaheim family. I'm looking forward to an awesome school year. Myself, I grew up in Inglewood, California. I served a very similar population as going to school in the Center Valley School District. And then also, the words you mentioned, sir, earlier really spoke to me because coming from El Monte, serving there as a counselor, I have keep in touch with the families and my coworkers over there, so been helping to continue to serve them and get through this tough time as well. So I really want to thank you for that recognition. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to starting the school year. I have my lovely wife and family here to support me on this new mission that I'll have here at Anaheim High
Please
School.
stand.
Stand up. There we go. All right.
They've been with me throughout this journey, and I really want to take the moment to say thank you to them for their support. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Edgar. All right, last but least, Warren Alvarez, come on down. And he's going to be the assistant principal at Sycamore Junior High.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, board and cabinet. I am so thrilled to be here and speaking to you on this topic of me becoming the assistant principal at Sycamore Junior High. Most of you don't know the origin of my family actually starts at Sycamore. My cousin that went to Sycamore when we were kids went to school with my wife, Jessie. And they met there, and then the rest is history. We met eventually, right? So there's layers of complexity within the story of Sycamore. My older son, Rowan, just promoted from Sycamore Junior High this past May, so I'm really excited for him to join the Anaheim family. He's going to Anaheim High School next. And I've been teaching at Sycamore for a few years. I've been the dual language coordinator there and have had an amazing experience there serving our community. And so what's really kind of special to me is that it is my community, right? I live here. My kids go to the school. I have a future child coming to Sycamore. He'll be a Bucky as well in a few years, 5 years. He'll be in the DLA program as well. And so it warms my heart to know that I can serve the people that I live with and my community and everyone around me. So it's a really special place for me to continue serving at, and I look forward to that. And I'm just really thrilled. You don't even know. You don't even know. So here with me today, I have my wife, Jessie, who's right here.
Stand up.
Jesse, stand up.
Stand up.
Jessie's currently going to be the PTSA president for Anaheim Secondary Council. And then my son, Reese, is here. He's the younger one. He's 7. He's a student at Horace Mann. He's coloring in the dinosaur book. That's sorry.
Very good.
My older son, Rowan, is actually being a teenager right now. He's at Magic Mountain with his cousin, whose birthday's today. So shout out to Emma if you're watching. Emma is actually the future the future ASB president at Sycamore too. So another kind of connection to the school. Her mom was the cousin that met my wife, right? So all connected. All right, and I also have my brother Jesus here. And then I have, he doesn't want to stand either. I have my sister Adriana here. And I have my dad here. Gracias, papá, por todo su apoyo y su sacrificio. Muchas gracias. Yeah. So obviously I wouldn't be here without my immigrant family, right? So I'm sure this is a very special kind of moment for us to be sharing. We don't have my mom here anymore, and so I would have liked her to see this as well, but life goes on, right? We have to push forward and do what we can. But yeah, this is my family currently right now, minus Rowan, who's at Magic Mountain. I see you, okay? All right, so I really do appreciate this opportunity to grow and collaborate and move our school forward and work with community and community partners to see what we can do and what kind of special place we can continue to create Sycamore and what it can become. So the possibilities are endless, and that makes me really excited and really kind of thrilled to be part of the community and continue to be part of that community, right? Because I was teaching there, and now I'll be in a different capacity. So I really do appreciate your your faith in me and this opportunity, right? So it's appreciated. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you, Juan. All right, well, congratulations to all of you, and we expect you to raise the bar. Keep raising the bar. Thank you very much. All right, next item is our recognitions. And we're going to start off with our donations, and I believe we got both of them here, and I'll go. Oh, they're not here. Okay. If they're not here, so on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we'd like to thank the following foundations for their generous donations to the district. We have Samueli Foundation, which donated $250,000 for AUHSD special projects. Let's give them a big round of applause. And we also have Stewart Foundation, which gave $150,500 to the AUHSD for special projects. And I want to highlight, not only thank them, but it also shows the confidence that these organizations have in our district and the work that we do. So that credit goes to all of the amazing people who are sitting at this table. So thank you very much. And everybody who's sitting out there who are doing the work. So thank you. All right, so we go to 7.2, Classified Employee of the Year. And am I passing this on to you or just going ahead and naming the folks? Okay, perfect. So we don't have anybody here then, right?
Yeah, because we already recognized.
All right, so the Board of Trustees would like to recognize the Anaheim Union High School District 2021-2022 Classified Employee of the Year nominees listed in the agenda. The 27 Classified Employees of the Year nominees were recognized during the virtual event on May 17, 2022 for their exemplary service to the district, students, and community. Board of Trustees echoes the statement of appreciation and recognizes the efforts of these dedicated employees and acknowledges the value of their contribution. The Board of Trustees applauds these employees and their contribution to the district. I just read that in a script, but I just want to say, I think all of our board members would agree that without you, the employees, this district will come to a standstill. So we want to thank you for everything that you've done, especially the amazing folks who are recognized. I'm going to mention their names and where they are from. So let's hold the applause, and then afterwards we could go ahead and applaud them. Susana Barbosa, Instructional Assistant at Adult Transition, Savannah High School. Rocio Campos, Translator, Interpreter at Catella High School. Adrian Castro, Plant Manager 2 at Kennedy High School. Mariam Dagian, Human Resources Technician, Human Resources Classified. Marcella Deem, Senior Administrative Assistant at Anaheim High School. Timothy Tim Erickson, Graphic Production Manager at Graphic Arts. Leticia Escalera, Instructional Assistant at Behavioral Support at Orangeview High School, Junior High School. Carlos Garcia Campos, Safety Aide at Cypress High School. Theodore Ted Gorkin, Plant Manager 1 at South Junior High School. Ramon Guerrero, Equipment Operator at Maintenance and Operations. Norma Hernandez, Nutrition Services Production Assistant with Food Services. Miguel Ibarra Rodriguez, Plant Manager 1 at Walker Junior High School. Juan Carlos Lopez, Campus Safety Aide, Western High School. Nancy Macedonia Alonzo, Licensed Vocational Nurse at Lexington Junior High School. Marcy Mendoza, Secretary, Registrar of Records at Cambridge Virtual Academy. Marissa Ortega, Senior Administrative Assistant at Oxford Academy. Yeneb Ramirez, Senior Administrative Assistant at Hope High School. George Ramirez Miranda, Custodian at Ball Junior High School. Laura Rodriguez, Senior Administrative Assistant at Plural Linguist Services. Carlos Rojas, Plant Manager 2 at Magnolia High School. Yesenia Salgado, Credential Technician at Human Resources Certified. Marco Tran, Technology Services Technician at Gilbert High School. Brenda Vasquez, Senior Administrative Assistant at Brookers Junior High School. Quang Vo, Technology Services Technician at Loera High School. Lori Williamson, Information System Analyst at Educational Information Technology. Ivanovic Ivan Wilson, Plant Manager 1 at Sycamore Junior High. And Celeste Zimmerman, Senior Administrative Assistant at Dale Junior High. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, like I said, I don't know if the board members want to say a few words just to acknowledge. If not, I said it for you, right? All right, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. We'll go to our reports. Do we have any student speakers? I don't think we have any student speakers who want to address the board. Seeing none, I'm going to go to reports of associations. And do we have, I don't think we have anybody, right? I don't think we have any association presidents who are here to report. I think they all took a summer break early. All right, perfect.
What, Grant left?
Yeah, Grant left, yeah.
What about PTA?
Okay, all right. All right, so 8.3, PTA, PDSA report. I don't think, I know, Jesse, you're incoming, so I don't think you have a report for us yet, right? All right. All right, we'll go to public comments, and on open session items, we have one speaker, but opportunities for public comments occur at the beginning of each agenda item, and at this time for items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the Board of Trustees should complete a speaker request form. That's this one right here, available at the informational table at the back of the room, and submit it to the executive assistant prior to the meeting. Each speaker is limited to a maximum of 5 minutes, and each topic or item limited to a total of 20 minutes. Board members cannot immediately respond to public comments as stated on the speaker request form. Having said that, we have John Wen. John Wen. Come on in, John. Go ahead. Yep, yeah. We're waiting for you, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's such an honor to be back. As you know, I'm a student of this great district, and I went to Savannah High School my freshman year and then transferred to Oxford Academy. Graduated there in the first graduating class of 2003. Yikes, I do have white hair now, so, and a parent as well, so I'm just so, talk about, a speaker before me talked about connections. I mean, I got very emotional when I heard that word because of just my connection here to this, you know, the school district, and then being a resident here as well too in the city of Anaheim. And speaking of service, because of the values that was instilled in me when I was a student, the idea of public servant leadership, and being a part of the program here back when Mr. Mark Suda was a teacher of the Summer Leadership Academy. That was that's a while back. So anyways, I'm here on behalf of an organization that that was started by my friends as well too, called Youth Leadership Anaheim at the time, and then we incorporated it as our own 501c3 called Youth Leadership America. And we've started the organization back in around 2003, and it continued to evolve. And we used to do leadership sessions for students. It's of course a free program, and we're a 100% volunteer-based organization. There's no paid staff. So we have the challenge of volunteers managing volunteers, and you know how that is. But it's, so we've, I guess, yeah, we've been existing for this long, and so we've evolved our program to not being a 13-week program to just being one big event. And we had a meeting with Mr. Matsuda before, oh gosh, before the pandemic, that we were going to put together a big leadership event, a summit and expo, and of course the pandemic happened, and so that didn't happen. But now that that's over, we're starting the event, and we have a website. Everything's live. We booked a convention center. The city is a big support of our of this initiative, and we want this to be a year-round event, similar to the college fair that exists every year. So it's meant for Anaheim residents as well as the surrounding community, and of course this school district that a lot of our students that are involved in our program can benefit. So I realize I don't have a flyer. We did everything virtual, so so the website, I guess everybody here can write that down. It's ylaexpo.org. So ylaexpo.org. It's youth leadership. The event is called Youth Leadership Summit and Expo, Youth Leadership Summit and Expo. And it's a completely free event. It's a, The summit part will be workshops available for parents and students. So we have workshops such as mental health, workshops for parents, workshops on public speaking, diversity. Well, I mean, there's a whole list. You can see the website. You can register there. As well too. So we have workshops throughout the day, and then starting noontime we have an expo, and that's for all nonprofit organization, government agencies that serve youth. Can have a booth there for free to exhibit and display the great services that are available, so students and parents can that will be attending this event can benefit. So a simple example, one of our students came up with the idea. Think of it as kind of Club Rush Week, where students are learning about all the activities that are available on campus. Well, here they learn about all the activities that are available in the community for them, from scholarships to internships to the great nonprofits that exist here within our city, within our school district, that they can participate in after school in the summer. Yeah, so I think that's okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, so okay, one more minute. And so we want to make this. I guess I'm here on behalf of the organization to invite everyone and to get the PTSA involved as well too, to get students here involved. YLA is it was an organization founded by students for students, and so it's still run by students today. Yeah, so we have budgeted $10,000 for scholarships as well for students to be participating in this, and maybe more because we have funding. We're still working out on some of the expenses, and we can save on that. We want to put all of it towards students. So. Yeah, so we're really excited. It's our inaugural event. We're expecting over 20,000 students. Yeah, that includes parents as well too. So we're really excited, and it's an event to celebrate youth, to bring youth together, to connect with our community, and with all the great organizations and programs that are out there that serves youth. So. Yes.
John, what was the date?
The date is August the 20th. It's on a Saturday, and we have the entire. So the arena that's at the convention center, and then that new building. We have that new building there. I forgot the name of it. The whatever wing.
Right.
Yeah. So we have that.
New one upstairs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We have the whole. Yeah. We have the whole thing. And so.
And let me clarify also. I didn't get the full website. It is
Yeah. YLAexpo.org.
Expo.org. Okay.
Yeah. YLAexpo.org. The press release is on there. You can register, get information. Yeah, all the information is on there. So we're super excited to do this, and I mean, I can't imagine a better time too, especially coming back from the from the pandemic, for youth to gather, and it's going to be a week before when school officially starts too at the school district. So
Well,
it'll be good.
we'll have been started already.
Yeah. So we want to, I mean, and this is, obviously, it's fast approaching. So we're looking for students to join us, parents as well too, to join our planning committee. It's a big effort. And so the good news is we have a lot of funding. So we have a lot of generous donors.
Yeah.
And yeah, we want this to be the event that connects, that brings youth together. High school students, this is tailored towards high school students. And our great community, so they know about all the great programs and services are available to.
Thank you, John.
Thank
And
you,
I know
John.
I'm not supposed to talk with you, but I know about YLA, and I'm very happy to see it back.
Yes,
and
yeah,
up
I am too,
and
so-
strong again. We've had a lot of our students go through and do phenomenal work because of YLA. I'm really glad you're still with it, too.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. We'll,
Another success
we'll
story
pass this
of
information.
Right.
Anaheim Union High School District, one of
Yeah,
our
that's
very own. So
Right.
we're so proud of you.
You.
Yeah.
Oh, that,
Yes,
yeah.
you.
Are
We're
the-
talking about you. No, you're looking around. We're
No,
talking
okay,
about
yeah,
you.
Yeah,
so
so
much.
good to see you.
Thank you.
thank you.
John.
All right, well, we're going to move on to our next item, which is item number, yep.
She's waving a blue
Oh, you have
sheet
one?
back there.
Come on. All right, well, I'll go ahead and call you Maritza Bumides. Oh, here, we'll take it. Go ahead, Maritza.
Good evening, board members and cabinet. My name is Maritza Bermudez. I love coming and saying hi to you guys oh, more closer? Sorry. Wearing my mask today. Happy to be here again with you guys. I missed the last board meeting. But I just really quick wanted to touch a little bit on the community schools. I know I was here earlier this afternoon while the Community School Steering Committee presented to you. And some of us got a chance to speak. So I said I'll come to the board meeting and just give a little bit of my thoughts on why I am on the steering committee and why I really truly believe in the community schools model here for Anaheim Union High School District, and know that I am in other spaces where we are actually leading a lot of the work, so I'm very proud to be part of the team that we have constructed, and I'm very glad that one day that I came to the board meeting and I heard about the steering committee, that I was able to get that information and to get on it, because I truly believe that if I hadn't have been here that day to hear that information, I might have lost out on that opportunity. So really quickly, I wanted to emphasize that for me, being part of this steering committee is because I really want our schools to be racially just. I want them to be relationship-centered. And I know some of the questions that you were asking earlier this afternoon, I was just thinking relationship-centered. How are we going to get our students to take advantage of those CTE classes, those A programs and everything? And that's engaging us, the parents, the families, informing us, making us shared decision makers, having that shared power with us, and getting that information across to all our families so that way our kids can succeed. I know we already have services in place, but it's really important that we do center the student, right? But with the student comes the family, and comes around the support that not only the student might need, but also the family. So it's not just about giving the services to the student, but giving it to the family if needed. So that's the reason I'm here. I'm here because I truly believe in this model, and I truly believe the outcome that this can bring. And I'm very proud to be part of this team, and I'm very excited to get more parents on board and educate them and see how this can be a transformative thing with the community school. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with the team this afternoon and for what they presented. We took a lot of information back, and I really like the fact that we all collaborate and everybody has a voice. Everybody has their say in it, and it's valued. So with that, and I want to thank you for everything of this year. It was a great year. My daughter is going to transition to Anaheim High School, so I'm very excited. Congratulations, Mr. Alvarez, for your promotion. Hoping to see more exciting, better things at Sycamore Junior High, and excited for our new assistant principal, but I didn't catch his name. I think he already left. But to work with them and with Mr. Calleros at Anaheim High School. So I will see you at the next board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Maritza.
Thank you, Maritza. All right, so we are now moving to our item number 10, which is adoption of the facilities master plan. Am I handing this over to consultants? Okay, Nancy's not here, so let's go ahead and take away.
We want to open it to,
Friends from LPA,
To what?
and Patty.
Oh, Patty's, okay. Well, Patty's going to give a quick intro, and then,
Good evening. Sorry, I was outside in the hallway. Lindsay and Rick Musto and also Jim Kissel from LPA. They're the firms that have been helping us with the update of our master plan. As you recall, in 2014, the board adopted the master plan that we're working off currently. And for 7 months now, we've been working on the update. You have been receiving in the community as well updates on our progress. So we're here today, finally, with going beyond the draft. We're hoping that it's well received, and we're recommending or hoping that the board would consider the adoption of this new master plan. So with us, Lindsay and Rick, I'm gonna just hand it over to them, and if there's any questions, I'll be here, promise, and help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Superintendent Matsuda and members of the Board of Trustees, thank you. We're absolutely delighted to be here again. We've spoken here several times over the last 7 or 8 months. It's been quite a journey, actually. So we're going to give you pretty much just a very high-level overview of the master plan. A lot of the information you'll see today, you've seen in the past. So we wanted to make the presentation part fairly brief so we could make sure we have enough time for questions and answers, and we'd love to take any questions you may have. So we're going to just give you an overview, talk about kind of the process a little bit, the stakeholders that were engaged through the whole process, talk about the cost, which you've seen before, go through some of the funding overview, and then talk about just kind of a sample project, and then really leave a lot of time for questions and answers. So you can see, you've seen the schedule before, and it's kind of daunting to look at, and the most important part of this is the red stripe on the right-hand side. This whole process started in November of 2021, and we're now finally at the culmination of presenting to you now the final. So, and I did want to recognize Patty and her staff. I don't think we could have gotten anywhere near where we are today without all the diligence and all the hard work that they did to really help with everything that went into this master plan. I mean, we do a lot of master plans across the state of California and Texas and other locations. And at least for me personally, I can't think of another district that was more engaged in the process in terms of just the care that they gave in providing us overview. So I think the result of that, I think, is a very, not only just a comprehensive master plan, a very accurate one. So I wanted to commend her for that and all the work that went into it. Let me open up my cheat sheet here. So just to give you an overview of all those boxes and colors you saw on the schedule, I mean, we did engage a great deal of people. So went through the whole process. I think we had over 1,600 participants, and this is just a quick synopsis of all the different groups that we met with in terms of the steering committees, cabinet meetings, community forums. We had 4 community forums. The last one was the large forum where we presented the final master plans, and that was just really well received. We did it over at the convention center, and it was just a great process there. And of course, we met with the Citizens Oversight Committee. We had LCAP meeting. We met with focus groups, online surveys, site committees. Thank you. I'm looking at my next page. So altogether, we had over 1,600 participants. And the little pie chart on the right just gives you a snapshot of all the online surveys that went out, where we were able to capture lots of great input from parents, students, teachers, and the school site administrators and all of their folks. So a whole lot went into what you see here. It wasn't something that we just kind of went out and just drafted. It really, this is the results of all this great input that we received across all the different groups. We're going to tag team a bit here, and I'll let Lindsay kind of take the next step here.
You bet. Thanks so much, Rick. So in terms of the stakeholder priorities and what came out of this process, we wanted to highlight some of the themes we saw. So obviously, this could not be tinier text. For the specialized schools, we have some very specific priorities. So for Gilbert High School, Hope School, and Oxford Academy, just because they have really unique programs, we thought it important to list all of those specifically. They didn't necessarily align with broader themes per se, but then when we took a look at every single school site, both on the west side and east side, we analyzed the data in a couple different ways to try to understand where there were themes that we could bring to you from a data standpoint. Obviously, we want to recognize the great work and the input of each school site individually, which is why you see them listed. And the numbers to the left of those are in terms of the scope categories you'll see tied to our funding analysis or our cost estimates, just so you can see how everything starts to align. So when we think of the common priorities for the West Side schools, the ones that rose to the top were library, student union, and student support services, modernizing and reconfiguring existing classrooms and collabs, electives, science labs and CTE, interior physical education improvements, outdoor learning and quads, and exterior hard courts and play fields and aquatic centers. When we go to the next set of schools on the east side, their common priorities were much the same, actually, as the west side, but interior physical education improvements, slightly different order, elective, science labs and CTE, performing arts improvements, safety and security, and exterior hard courts and play fields and aquatic centers. So when we look across all of the stakeholder priorities in the variety of ways that we do them, incorporating the online surveys from students, teachers, parents, and admin, as well as what the school site committees all said, kind of the top 4 priorities that rose to the top were safety and security, existing building systems and toilets, interior physical education improvements, and exterior playfields and hard courts and aquatic centers. So this starts to weight things, incorporating more student, teacher, and parent surveys, which is always interesting because I think parents, 2 of their top ones were safety and security, which is not unusual, of course. We all want to protect our kiddos as much as possible. So those were some of the ones that rose to the top, and we'll be talking about how those themes carry forward after Rick presents a bit about cost.
All right, and this again should be a review for you, talking about the total cost of all the documents. So as you recall, we have master plan diagrams for every single campus, and those diagrams identify all the work and all the scopes of work. So we organize costs in a few different ways, so you can kind of see the different ways of trying to digest and understand what's a fairly surreal number probably when you look at it. But the total cost of the total project cost for the entire plan that's represented in this update is just over $2 billion. So it's, and I think I shocked you last time we met with that number, so that's where we are. And just to help you understand that, as you'll see when you get into the details in the binder, we've organized it by scope categories, and these scope categories are represented on every school site. But it gives you an idea to see one particular category, what that total cost is across all schools. So for example, modernizing and reconfiguring existing classrooms and collabs, if you wanted to get an idea what that costs across all the school sites, that number is about $124 million. And then so on. At the last presentation, we went through a fairly detailed description of every one of these scope categories. I'm happy to review those with you if you have some questions after, but I won't go through those again. But I just wanted you to understand that we have the detail here with all the different categories and the costs associated with each scope category. Then what we did is we've then summarized the costs by school site. So the next page here just represents all the junior highs. So you can see of that $2 billion, about $500 million is just in the school sites for between Ball, Brookhurstdale, Lexington, Orange, South, Sycamore, and Walker. And I want to make sure you understand that, part of the detail that the district went forward is one of the complexities of doing an update is we had to come up with these costs while you're right in the middle of improving a lot of school sites. So we put a lot of care to make sure there isn't a duplication of costs and that all the things from your current measure are incorporated. If money has already been secured for a current project, they're not represented in these numbers. These are all future numbers. So. Again, we've got the next category just by school site by all the high schools. So the high schools would, of course, represent a little more than twice the cost of the junior highs just because of the size of the campuses, and that shouldn't be much of a surprise. That came to about $1.2 billion in total cost. Then the next piece is really cost summary by site. Or sorry, this is a continuation of cost summary by site. These are your specialty sites. Gilbert, Oxford, Hope, Handel Stadium is separated out. I think that was a question when we did the last update, so we have a specific number for Handel Stadium, and then the district campus itself, and then the district central kitchen. So you can see all those numbers separated. Again, those come up to about $334 million, again with the grand total of a little over $2 billion. I went through that fairly quick, and I'm happy to answer questions, but I think the next piece is just to show you the other side of the equation. So those are the cost side. The other piece is really looking at the funding itself and where the dollars would come from in terms of funding projects. And this is a summary that we presented at the last time. And so you have dollars available for developer fees. There's a deferred maintenance set aside. I think at one time we showed a balance on Measure H. But what we did is that's now shown as zero because all those dollars are identified already as active projects. So those dollars will be exhausted by the time the next rollout happens with projects. State facility school programs, there's about $96 million in remaining state eligibility. Future general obligation bond. So that's the next steps actually is doing another GO bond, and the dollars that we had represented is about $319 million that could go towards future projects. The federal funds, ESSER funds, which the district is eligible for to fund HVAC projects and outdoor learning centers and some of the work that's actually starting. There's about $46 million there. And E-rate has some dollars as well. So when you look at the total potential funding, it comes to about $500 million. So that's, obviously significantly less than what the total is, but that's not uncommon for any district process, so that you're kind of in average there. what we like to recommend to school districts, and you can see the pie chart on the side, is that even though the total cost of the projects we identified were project costs, which means total costs that you would spend on construction plus all the fees, inspection fees, and all the other soft costs that you would assign, those are in the numbers, but those are just at 2022 dollars. So because it's not known how these projects will be funded and when they'll be constructed, escalation plays a big part of the additional cost, as well as other unknowns such as whether sites will need interim housing, whether you might have to go to the city of Anaheim or any of the other cities for off-site connections that might be cost for fees there. So what we recommend and what's been kind of the rule of thumb for as long as we've been doing master plans is that you only allocate 2/3 of all your funding available to apply to the work that we've defined as terms of projects. So you really have, if you take that 2/3 rule, you'll end up, you have about $340 million to apply towards your $2 billion worth of work. So that means you're not going to get everything finished. So we understand that, and I think we went through a process of trying to prioritize or just obviously look at what you might want to do as your highest priorities in terms of site, in terms of projects. And I think we're going to get into that a little bit in terms of sample projects and some of the themes we've heard, because we have asked school sites, and I think we've come to the board as well to ask for your recommendations and thoughts on how you would prioritize projects moving forward. And Lindsay can give you kind of a summary of that. But I think maybe before we go there, do you have any questions so far with what we presented, or do you want to wait till we're through and then?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the district central kitchen, which shows on page 16 of 37 million, where is that proposed to be located?
Do you have the exact?
It's where the location, it's proposed at the Dale Junior High School.
Where we talked about it 6-7 years ago.
Ball Road.
That's right, yeah, Dale Junior High.
And the account that we have money already set aside for that project is on page 17. Where is that sitting, in what category?
Some of the funds that we had allocated for that, it's under RDA.
If you go to page 17, oh, you're on it now. What
Yeah.
line item is that?
It would be,
Is it?
okay, so
Yeah, it may not be in this list.
RDA is not, it's not shown on this.
So that would reduce this, this amount, or increase this amount, I should say.
Yes.
Not by much.
It's about 12 million?
12 million is the balance, the current balance.
Yeah, okay, all right,
We can note that and correct this too for the final,
okay,
if that'll help.
that'd be good. And the Magnolia High School, the proposed stadium is in the Magnolia High School site.
That 100, what's that amount there? But yes,
It's 153 million, or?
that would be,
That's correct. It's part of the Magnolia site.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Cost, yes.
Thank you.
And incorporated, Patty, as we mentioned before, the construction would entail upgrading to environmental efficiency, such as in the restrooms. What about solar? I know we're working on solar, but we don't have all the solar funded. So does this new proposal cover all, so everything has solar throughout the district?
You probably want to talk a little bit on the green code. As you go through DSA and as you design new projects, that's going to be a requirement anyway. So I don't know if you want to talk about.
You know, Patty, would you mind coming to the podium, only because I want to make sure that folks who are listening also gets to hear you.
So with the
I
solar,
can-
is the solar already incorporated in this $500 million cost?
That would be part of the construction. Yeah, when you design it, it would also, any new building in the future we will be required to build in the solar into the building on the rooftops.
Okay.
So there's a considerable amount of solar that's already been planned and already been allocated in terms of cost on practically every school site. And yeah, over parking lots, and those are all in the planning stages right now. When future projects go to the Division of State Architect and go for approval. Currently, they say you should allocate some of your roof for future solar. It's, they need to be solar ready. Well, the states move past that, and starting at the end of, beginning of next year, you have to do more than solar ready. You actually have to include solar. So you're not going to be able to do a project without solar, which is great. I mean,
Are all of our campuses already using reclaimed water for irrigation throughout the? No. Does this proposal here put that into the campuses?
No,
or?
actually, the cities that we are within our, I'm sorry, within our boundary, there's no reclaimed water where we could connect to.
Well, there isn't any.
Right. So, but I imagine that if it becomes available, we would actually be tapping into those lines. But so, to answer your question, there's no tie-ins to reclaimed water at this point.
But as we construct or do whatever we're going to be doing, proposal, we would be able to tap into the reclaimed.
If it's available with the city, yes.
Okay.
yeah, all sites, irrigation was a big part of all the field upgrades, so there's full cost for all irrigation, whether you can use reclaimed solar or reclaimed irrigation. We'll do that wherever it's possible. So.
Okay.
Go ahead and continue.
All right, so wrapping up for us, really this is just an example of potential sample projects. So when we looked at all of those priorities and what campuses had prioritized and everything else, there were a handful of themes that really rose to the top. So safety and security was one of them, and two of the top sort of subsets of what safety and what falls under that category that rose to the top were improving parking and drop-off and pickup areas. This came up by the parents, students, and school sites. No surprise, because I think anybody that experiences a school site first thing in the morning or in the afternoon, it can be a headache. There's been a lot of improvement with Measure H dollars to some campuses, but I think these are the other campuses that maybe haven't had some of those improvements. The other point was improving safety and security of the campuses. That came up from parents, and so just always at the forefront, I think, of people's minds. The next theme is interior physical education improvements. So this entailed gym, fitness spaces, and locker room renovations. This came up a lot with teachers and the school sites. And so a lot of this has to do with, again, campuses that haven't had that work done would like to have that. So the next 01 and 02 categories, meaning modernization, we grouped these together because this entails both upgrading restrooms and as well as typical classrooms. So this was brought up significantly by students and parents as well as teachers and school sites. And then next on the list, exterior playfields and hard courts and aquatic centers. This was predominantly prioritized by teachers and school sites. Again, they have that access every day. For elective science labs and career technical education, the school sites prioritized that significantly. So really that came about in terms of making sure that the facilities available were keeping up sort of with the demands of a lot of those great programs you already have. And then the next priority, library, student union, and student support services. So that came up by a lot of the school sites, really thinking about what the future of a library could be. And then last but certainly not least, performing arts improvements. And I think this came up probably on a handful of the campuses that do serve a lot of those district functions in terms of the theaters on those campuses being improved. So what that could look like as things get implemented, what a sample project could be. Again, Measure H, there's been a significant investment in safety and security on campuses. So these are just some great examples of some of the Measure H projects that have been implemented and dollars spent. New entries with new fencing, new parking lots, new drop-off, new security cameras. A lot of that has already been initiated, but again, on some campuses, not all. So continuing on with that great work done. And then next, district-wide facilities. So again, thinking about how you can utilize maybe dollars to affect as many students and families as possible. So thinking about modernizing Cook Auditorium, Handel Stadium, the central kitchen. So really kind of hitting on all facets of being able to serve the most students. And then the last sample project kind of bucket, I guess you could say, is site modernization. And this honestly could take a lot of different forms. Anything from a major modernization or transformation, much like the work that you all saw at Dale Junior High, a very transformative piece of modernizing existing classrooms, but also building a bit of new construction in the form of their admin and library and STEM spaces. And then new construction or a single building modernization. So a great example of that is the new music building at Oxford Academy in terms of a single building on site, making a big impact. And then maybe falling under some minor modernization, so some more targeted projects relative to outdoor learning to expand those opportunities for students to learn indoors and outdoors, really kind of expanding the fourth wall of that classroom, if you will. Curb appeal, fields, and potential other improvements. So, we heard a lot about athletics and things like that and play fields, so making sure that that's something that would fall under that category. Did you want to cover next steps?
Yes, sir.
And so last slide.
Yes, that takes us to where we are today. So I know there's, the next steps really are moving forward, the idea of general obligation bond. I know there's a survey in process. I'm not quite sure if it's completed yet. Maybe Patty could update us on that. So there'd be a review. They'd come back to you in July with a review of those results. And then the next step would be development of a ballot measure language in July as well. And if the board felt like they were going to pursue a bond, it would have to be, the declaration would have to happen by August 9th, I guess, is the cutoff date for a November bond. And then if, should that happen and should the bond pass, then in terms of this master plan, we've already talked to Patty about the next steps are doing more of a detailed implementation, so where projects can actually be defined by site. So that would be a future step that would happen when we start allocating the actual matching, aligning the dollars with actual projects.
All right, thank you. Does the board have any questions?
Just a comment. Thank you so much. I'm just sitting here as a board member and how many years I've served, and I realize this is complicated for a lot of our, parents sitting here and trying to understand why we've even, why we're looking at all of this, and these numbers seem extravagant. So I just think it might be advantageous, just really quickly, Board President, to just explain, what this really is. It's like a giant wish list and hope list of what we, what we would like to happen, and really in general to explain that we can't use our dollars that we get from the state for facilities, and just explaining that. Can we get maybe Patty really quickly to just explain briefly why we're doing this?
Well, the reason we update, not only because it's something that CD, California Department of Ed, recommends that we revisit our master plan, our roadmap on how our facilities should shape up in order for the facilities to be able to respond to all the new initiatives that the district might have. It's not only recommended for that, but it's really a roadmap for us. So as dollars become available, and really they're not dollars for facilities that come from the general fund. There's certain pots of money from the general fund that could be used for facility upgrades, but it's more on the maintenance side. So that's why that is important for us to look at the new work we could do to move our facilities forward. But then the pot of money that we would be getting from the general fund is just really for the maintenance aspect of it, right? So that's where, and then we have other pots of money, how we were showing here, where we could use for facilities, but that's very tiny compared to that daunting amount of almost $2 billion, or $2 billion. So the goal is obviously looking for larger pots of money. That could be in the form of a general obligation bond. We are almost winding down with Measure Age, and we might be considering a new bond measure that would help us just chip away at that $2 billion. But also, the district is always very involved looking for other pots of money, whether it's grants or that school facility program. So those are kind of the line items working with, we included, as you see, a line item just for E-rate. Those are dollars that Brad and Eric seek to always, they're applying for. So we put all that together, and we continue to fund our facilities or modernize our facilities. The maintenance funds that we get annually from the general fund, that's just not enough to deal with our facilities. They help, but not enough. So that in a nutshell, this is why we do. So just to bring it to the forefront, you know, what the needs really are for us to have modernized facilities and that really respond to the educational program. And in some cases, you can see that we have schools with you know, where we have a dollar value attached to them much higher. Those are schools that really need to be modernized. And they haven't been. We've just been doing little things here and there, so that's where the big dollars come into play.
I just want to say that our schools are anywhere from 60 years old, 50, 60 years old, and Anaheim High School is 120 years old.
Yeah, the oldest building, it's from the 30s, you know, so.
It's 80, 90.
Yeah. We have, I think the original building was, I think it was the schoolhouse, right? In the 1800s, late 1800s, and of course that disappeared, right? And we built during in the 30s, the main building and some other structures there. But again, those structures need to be modernized. And as we modernize, if you see the dollar amount, you know, as we go through the state, the division of the state architect, there's so many new requirements, right? Code compliance, it's just constantly being, the codes are being constantly, they're updated, right? And when you design or modernize, you need to comply with those codes. So that's what's really, that's why the values are so high, just because of the amount of work. Seismic upgrades, structural upgrades, those are all the things that we look at as we go through the division of state architect.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, I mean, part of it is, just to kind of reiterate, is that I know there are a lot of parents here who are part of the process, who went through the process of coming in and giving your input on what you'd like to see in your campuses. So this is the grand finale of basically showing how much it costs to get what your wish lists are. I can speak for Anaheim and Sycamore High Schools that, you know, everybody's nodding their head because they know the amount of work that we need in our schools. So thank you, Patty, for all the work, and thank you to the parents who are, everybody's in the audience who've been part of the process, so thank you. All right.
And thank you, Rick and Lindsay, for all the work you've done. And thank you for complimenting our Patty, because we adore her. And you can see, we have definitely done a lot of improvements with her. And she's the expert, so thank you so much for giving her her dues.
Well deserved, yes.
All right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next presentation, which is item number 11, is the district English
So we have
learner.
to adopt the plan. It's item
action
10.
item.
It's
It's
an
an
Item 10, oh, my bad.
So moved.
We almost wouldn't have done that. All right. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, we got to our presentation, District English Learner Advisory Committee, and we have, oh.
It gives
go
me
ahead.
great honor and pleasure to bring up our Director of Plurilingual Services, Dr. Bryant, and I must say she does a fantastic job leading our Plurilingual Services Department, and as you'll see tonight, and also empowering our families and our parents in being a part of this work. So I'm privileged to give up Dr. Bryant.
Thank you. President Jabbar, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, wherever he wandered off to, Executive Cabinet. Thank you for providing us this opportunity to give you a presentation from our District English Language Advisory Committee. And this is a yearly presentation. Normally in the pandemic, we took a pause, and now we're back and better than ever. And so because it is the District English Language Advisory Committee, which is made up of our parents and our families, it is my privilege to invite up to the microphone Britza Mendoza, who is going to facilitate this presentation. Britza. She is our president. Presidente. And I'd also like to bring up our interpreter. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brian. Thank you so much for having us. I make it in Spanish, but you have a copy and you follow me. Thank you. Okay. Bueno, nuestro equipo de DILAC está presentada por la doctora René, que ya. En Kenny Pérez, que es el interino coordinador. Diana Fujimoto, Professional Learning Coordinator. Laura Rodríguez. Y todos los que todo el equipo de traducción y de interpretación. Y los equipos de ILAC. Lo siento, sí. Es un poco nerviosa. Ok. Está bien. Dígalo, no, dígalo. Va a usar el micrófono.
So it would. So she's presenting the DLAG team for Anaheim AUHSD. Presenting Director of Plurilingual Services, Dr. Renee Bryan, Kenny Perez, Interim for Family and Community Engagement Coordinator, Diana Fujimoto, Professional Learning Coordinator, Laura Rodriguez, Plurilingual Services Administrative Assistant, Translation and Interpretation Team, Language Assessment Team, all school site ELAC teams, ELPL administrators, ELPL coordinators, ELD teachers and FACES, and DLAC board.
Yeah, hello. So we'll go to. En nuestro board del año 21-22, aquí mis compañeras, por favor, Natividad Vázquez es la vicepresidenta, Liliana Bataz es la secretaria y Alejandra Barbosa, ella es la parlamentaria y la community outreach. Gracias.
And we have the board, the DLAC board for 2021-2022, President Britza Mendoza, Savannah High School, Vice President Natividad Vasquez, Catella High School, Secretary Liliana Bataz, Catella High School, Parliamentarian Community Outreach, Maria Alejandra Barbosa, Hope School.
Y nuestro objetivo de DLAC, no lo voy a leer todo por el tiempo, pero ustedes tienen copia, si necesitan copias, atrás las tenemos. Okay. Nosotros asesoramos al superintendente, ¿verdad?, para dar en el desarrollo de un plan maestro del distrito que incluya políticas que guíen la implementación consistente de programas y servicios educativos EL que toman en consideración el plan escolar para el rendimiento estudiantil.
So the purpose of the DLAG is we meet to follow the following requirements. We advise the superintendent and their designee the following tasks: to develop the district master plan, including policies guiding consistent implementation of EL educational programs and services that takes into consideration the school plan for student achievement, SPSA. And also we have these copies in the back if you need a copy.
Gracias. También es revisar y comentar sobre las notificaciones escritas que se deben enviar a los padres y tutores, revisar y comentar sobre el plan y control local de rendición de cuentas.
Also is to review and comment on the written notifications required to be sent to parents and guardians, and review and comment on the development of the local control and accountability plan, LCAP.
También tenemos el censo de idiomas, que es el censo que fue el 2021 y 2022. Ahí tienen también todos los números de los aprendices de inglés. Todos los números ahí lo tenemos, cuántos fueron en total. Y los otros idiomas de aprendices en inglés, que es en español, en árabe, en vietnamí, en tagalo, coreano y 50 idiomas adicionales.
And also we have the language census for 2021-2022. You can see them all listed there, all the numbers for ELs and all the totals. You can see the languages, the home languages represented: Spanish, Vietnamese, Korean, Arabic, Tagalog, 50 other languages other than English too.
Nuestras metas y objetivos de actividades del 2021 y del 2022. Dice, basado en los resultados de las escuelas, de las encuestas de la evaluación de necesidades y contribución de LCAP. Dice, promover actividades de participación para los padres. Aquí tenemos diferentes actividades que hemos tenido para nosotros como padres, que es lo que nos ha enseñado a nosotros cómo podemos apoyar a nuestros estudiantes. Pero donde voy a hacer más el hincapié es en los 3 últimos puntos, que son los centros de recursos comunitarios o los centros de padre, que son las especialistas en relaciones familiares y comunitarias, que son las FACES, y el apoyo de traducción e interpretación.
And here you can see the goals, objectives, and activities for 2021-2022, different activities as a parent, they're teaching us how we can better support our students, but you could see the list. I want to focus on the last ones, the parent community resource centers, our FACES, family and community engagement specialists, and the translation interpretation support.
And community liaison also. Y basado en los resultados de las encuestas de evaluación de necesidades de contribución de ALCA, dice, amplificar las oportunidades del desarrollo del lenguaje, y que hemos tenido la Academia del Lenguaje del Verano del grado 7, la hemos implementado para incluir del grado 7 al grado 12. También la Academia del Lenguaje sabatina, comenzando en otoño. Dice, varias escuelas ofrecen los programas de lenguaje antes y después de clases o programas de los días sábados. Y todos han sido monitoreados con éxito de los estudiantes de IEL y EPL.
And also based on the annual needs assessment survey result, the expanded language development opportunities, Summer Language Academy, from 7th to 12th grade, we've incorporated 7th grade, Saturday Language Academy, before and after school and Saturday language programs at various school sites, PLEL success monitoring.
También nuestro distrito también ofrece 2 programas de inversión del lenguaje dual para el español y la Academia de Lenguaje Dual en la Academia Global de Liderazgo y Lenguaje.
And also our district offers the 2 Spanish dual language immersion programs and the Dual Language Academy and Global Leadership and Language Academy.
And we have tenemos nuevas metas. Dice, igual, basado en los resultados de las encuestas, vamos a enfocarnos en los alumnos recién llegados o alumnos inmigrantes. Grupo operativo para alumnos recién llegados continúa rindiéndonos con regularidad para tratar los servicios de apoyo para los alumnos recién llegados y sus familias. Continuar utilizando el plan de aprendizaje para los recién llegados para asegurar su éxito. Crear videos de bienvenidas en los idiomas principales. Utilizar los módulos para la capacitación profesional para que todos los maestros desarrollen la capacidad para aumentar el logro del aprendizaje en inglés. Y colaboración con agencias comunitarias para proveer servicios globales. Lo dije todo.
And the new goals for goals, objectives, and activities based on the annual needs assessment survey results and LCAP input. Focus on newcomer immigrant students. Newcomer Task Force continues to meet on a regular basis to discuss support services for newcomer students and families, partnerships with community agencies to provide wraparound services, continue to use newcomer learning plan to ensure newcomer success, explore the creation of a newcomer welcome center, belief modules, professional learning for all teachers and administrators to build capacity to increase plurilingual English learner achievement.
Thank you. They have some photos. Tenemos algunas fotos donde hemos tenido los talleres de embarcamientos para padres. La que tenemos al lado ahí con letras verdes, la del talleres de presencia plena, esa fue en vietnamí. Y también tuvimos de Logic en Logic, Amor en Lógica. Disciplina positiva. El Club de Libros para Padres. Y el proceso de ELCA, varios de nuestros padres estamos involucrados en todo ese proceso.
And opportunities for parent involvement. We have the workshops for mindfulness, that was in Vietnamese, the Love and Logic parenting classes. We also had the Disciplina Positiva, book clubs for parents, and the LCAP process where various parents participated.
También tenemos la de la Academia de Liderazgo para Padres y ahí tenemos diferentes fotos. Y esta academia ha sido muy provechosa para nosotros como padres, porque es ahí donde podemos aprender cómo podemos apoyar a nuestros estudiantes a ser más proficientes en las escuelas.
And we also had the opportunities for parent empowerment, where we had the academies for parent leadership, as you can see in the pictures. With the, and in here we were able to, these opportunities were excellent for us as parents. We learned how to better support and for our students and how to have them succeed better, have more success.
También tenemos las caminatas de aprendizaje, que es donde como padres tenemos la oportunidad de ir a los salones y aprender cómo nuestros estudiantes están ahí aprendiendo, y es ahí como nosotros podemos contribuir más y saber cuál es el sistema que les están enseñando a los maestros en clases.
We also had the parent learning walks, where us, the parents, would go into the classes and do the walk, and there we could learn how we could contribute more and how the system it is that they use to teach in the classes and see the classrooms.
Y esas es las necesidades que tenemos según la encuesta del 2020-21. Ahí en sus copias la van a poder mirar más clara, porque están muy chiquitas las letras.
And you could see the DLAC Needs Assessment Survey 2021. You could see it on your copy. The letters are really small.
Y tenemos lo más importante, las recomendaciones para el Consejo. Para el año 2022 y 2023.
And we have the most important section, the recommendations for the board for 2022, 2023.
Continuar con el desarrollo de capacitación de liderazgo para los padres. Fortalecer los ILACs de las escuelas, proporcionar la capacidad de liderazgo para los padres de ILAC, para los administradores IEL y los coordinadores IEL. Organizar la colaboración de DLAC y ILAC con otros grupos de padres y organizaciones comunitarias. Establecer una conversación con los de DILAC y ILAC de las escuelas que nos mandan a sus alumnos, o sea, con todas las escuelas elementales.
Continue building parent leadership capacity, strengthen for parents, strengthen ELACs at the school site level, provide leadership training for ELAC parents, EL administrators, and EL coordinators, organize DLAC-ELAC collaboration with other parent groups and community organizations, engage in articulation with the feeder DLAC-ELACs from the elementaries, begin attending the DLAC meetings at the feeder elementary districts and inviting the elementary DLAC boards to the district DLAC meetings.
También estamos planeando asistir a las reuniones de los distritos elementales como DILAC, como el distrito de aquí de Anaheim. Y continuar apoyando y comprometiéndonos en el proceso de primera mayor instrucción y la implementación de los estándares estatales por medio de las caminatas de aprendizaje para padres.
And keep attending the DLAC meetings at the elementaries and continue supporting and understanding the career preparedness system framework and state standards implementation via parent learning walks.
También invitar a oradores especiales o modelos ejemplares para los estudiantes, como miembros de la comunidad o previos alumnos de IEL, a los salones, escuelas y eventos del distrito. Continuar proporcionando capacitación para el personal sobre la salud mental, necesidades socioemocionales, capacidades culturales. Continuar creando más concientización sobre las necesidades de los estudiantes de educación especial. Continuar apoyando y ampliando los servicios del trabajo social. Y continuar apoyando el trabajo en torno a los módulos Believe y fomentar la capacidad de los maestros con el fin de que aumente el logro estudiantil de los ELs.
And also invite guest speaker, role models, examples like community members and former EL students to classrooms, schools, district events. Continue to provide training to staff on mental health, social, emotional needs, cultural competencies, continue to create more awareness around the needs of special education students, continue to support and expand social work services, continue to encourage work around the belief modules, EL shadowing, EL toolkits, and increase teacher capacity to decrease the opportunity gap and increase the access and success of PL and EL students.
You have any question?
Thank you for asking.
After continue?
Anybody have any questions?
Bravo, give her a round of applause, my goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank
please, I have a question about the newcomer task force. I'd like to learn a little bit more about that. How long has that been, how long have you been meeting?
Well,
Thank you for that question. So the newcomer task force began in 2015-16 with the increase of refugees as immigrants to our country from the Middle East. And so at that point, I know President Al-Jabbar and many community members came together with Cynthia Vasquez-Pettit, who was your director then, and formed the newcomer task force with the help of Diana Fujimoto as well. And so we've continued to meet each year to make sure that we continue to plan and implement more structures of supports and systems of supports for our newcomers, like our newcomer learning plan.
Okay, next time you meet, I'd like to show up for that.
Thank you.
And Teresa, I just wanted to ask you, thank you for your presentation. You did a fantastic job. Thank you. And what was your highlight this year?
Lo más destacado.
Put it on the spot.
I know, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things you did.
Yes,
what stood out for you?
Well, I'm alive. soy viva. Well,
I was going to say, this is your first year being president, right?
yes. Sí. Es la primera vez que estoy siendo presidenta aquí como en el board. Ya lo he hecho muchas veces en las escuelas, en elemental, pero es la primera vez haciéndolo aquí. Y es muy emocionante. Pero lo más emocionante es ver la compasión, cómo ha crecido la compasión en nosotros. Cómo ahora todo esto que ha pasado, que hemos pasado por la pandemia, todo este proceso, nos ha traído más sensibilidad. Y eso es lo que más a mí me trasciende, eso es lo que más a mí me enfoca, me motiva de ver que sí podemos hacer un cambio. Si nos juntamos, sí podemos hacer cambio.
So yes, my first year as president here, as in the board, as president at district. Before I was in the board, but at the elementaries, but now I'm here at district. But the most exciting thing for me was the compassion that increased in all of us since the pandemic, more sensibility towards everything more. That's what I'm focusing more, motivates me more, everyone wanting to make a change.
Fantastic.
Y estamos emocionadas como grupo porque sabemos que lo mejor viene y tenemos todas las ganas de trabajar por nuestros estudiantes. Así que también eso me mantiene emocionada y bendecida. Ok, continuamos con la doctora René. Please.
I'm also excited to be here. I can't wait to work for the students. I'm very excited and very blessed.
Okay, I told Maritza that she's not done yet. She's going to come back one more time. All right, so.
So before you move on, let me just ask you a question, right? In terms of the newcomer welcome center, what does that entail and what are we looking at?
Right, so that has been a dream. I don't know if Mr. Colon, slipped away into retirement already, but that was a dream of Mr. Colon and all of us for the newcomer task force. It's something that we talked about when I first arrived, and so lots of talk about where it could be, what space it could occupy, and how much we could serve our scholars and their families by having something like that. So a lot of it is about space. We've been waiting where, there's space is a valuable commodity here at the district. So we've done a makeshift welcome center, meaning that the area of the language assessment center, we make sure we have everything there that we would need to welcome our families. And that's okay for now. And then it would be great to have a space somewhere where our refugee, immigrant families, our newcomer families know that everything they need is in that one space. And we have, I guess, community schools. We have community spaces at every single school now. So it was a wish before then. So maybe in that space, that will be where we can house a welcome center at every single site. So more discussion to come.
All right. Well, I'd like to see that a reality too.
Right?
I know we've been talking
Yeah.
about it, so we'll maybe move forward towards that, Mr. Superintendent. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so this brings us to our next slide. So as you can see here, back in 2003, you had a English learner master plan, and now it's updated. So we have the first, now it's a plurilingual master plan, assets-based, written around the English learner roadmap, although that's not a very asset-based term. We're still going to use that before federal compliance. You can see that we go back and forth between English learner, which is kind of a deficit term, and plurilingual, which is a more asset-based term in our plan. And the reason is because this plan also meets our federal requirements. So the plan serves dual purposes. One, so we can make sure that the state and the federal government, they know exactly what we're doing with the money and that we're serving our scholars, making sure we're building the capacity of our staff and serving our families appropriately. appropriately with that money. The second purpose is to make sure it's a living document so that each year we can update it and make sure our staff can actually access it. They can access all the updated forms, and they know exactly where to find everything related to our plurilingual scholars, whether they are plurilingual scholars that are in a language acquisition program towards greater English proficiency, or in any one of our 8 world language programs, or in either one of our dual language immersion programs for Vietnamese or Spanish, and Korean on the horizon, right, in the future. So, it's a recommendation of our DLAC and of our Plurilingual Services Department. We're asking for a recommendation. We are recommending to the board that you approve, I'd accept and approve our plan. And we'll stop right here.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that, and I would like to say I was really impressed with that document.
Thank you.
I enjoyed going through it and reading the different things, and you're going to be updating some of the statistics that were in there.
Yeah.
You know, and I look forward to that. But this is one I really enjoyed this, and so I've clipped it together so I can take it home and you know, but it just really well done. Ladies, phenomenal
Very
job.
thorough. Great.
Thank you.
All right, well, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Well, I want to congratulate the,
Yes.
I do want to congratulate all of you because all of you have been not only part of DLAC, but I see you out in the community doing other things which actually support our students and our families. So thank you on behalf of the community as well. Appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. Thank you. And do we come back to take a picture or after the presentation?
We're not done. There's more to
Okay.
come.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
what I
it's
thought.
a gift that keeps giving. Okay,
go.
we're close though, we're close. So it is my pleasure also to give you a small update about Project Learn. You remember last year we told you that in partnership with Cal State Fullerton, with Dr. Allison Dover, Dr. Ferran Rodriguez-Vaz, our partners at Cal State Fullerton, we applied for the Spencer Foundation grant around this work that we've done from Summer Language Academy, Saturday Language Academy, now Project Learn. This year we piloted with 10 willing, braving up teacher leaders this curriculum to make translanguaging, plurilingualism, culturally relevant, sustaining pedagogy even more of a reality in our classrooms. And so next year, I'm proud to say that we're going to have 30 more teachers, and we keep expanding. So we're very proud of this work, and we're proud of our partnership. And you might remember this slide as well. So it's really, I mean, we know Summer Language Academy is so special. And again, kudos to Cynthia Vasquez-Pettit, Diana Fujimoto, and the team who began that work here. We continue it, and it's so great to be able to add to it. I remember Cynthia said, you're just going to take it further. You're going to do more. And so I'm trying to honor those words that she said to me. And so in partnership, we're making sure that we are honoring the quest for civic engagement for all of our scholars, including our newcomers. So as a part of SALA, as a part of SLA, and now as a part of Project Learn, we have integrated this youth participatory action research. So when you visit Summer Language Academy, when you visit these classrooms, Saturday Language Academy, you see our newcomers researching, but I'm not going to talk too much more about it because we do have a teacher leader here. Soon, I have to say like ex-teacher leader, right? Because now she's our assistant principal at Dale, our new assistant principal, Joanna Peters, who's going to come up and she's going to talk about her experience in Project Learn. You can see here in your packet, you see that this is just one example of our scholars deciding they know their communities best. They know the assets that they bring, that their families bring, and they also know what they want to make positive changes around. And so this is just one example of how our scholars investigated and decided that they wanted to make positive change in their community. And so with that, I'm going to bring up Joanna Peters.
Good evening. As Dr. Bryant mentioned, I'm here to share my experience with Project Learn. When I first began with the research project, I was teaching ELD 1 and 2 at Dale Junior High. And from the onset, what really impressed me and I appreciated the most was the level of professional learning that we engaged in and the impact it had on our classrooms. So we began the year by doing professional learning on translanguaging in the classroom. We reflected on our current school practices within our classroom. We collected data, analyzed it, then developed lessons based on our learning. From there, we collected further data, reflected, and continued to engage in this process throughout the academic school year. In addition, we were able to collaborate with teachers from outside of our content area. And what I found in participating in this project, that within my classroom, I found a greater sense of comunidad, complexity, and confianza within the classroom. With translanguaging practices, it really empowers our students to make those conscientious choices to move between their linguistic repertoires in order to best express their ideas depending on the task and purpose. And so what is so empowering and uplifting about this is that, to me, this is like a growth mindset approach to education, because it really sends the message to our emergent bilinguals that their language and the language choices that they make are not a barrier to their success, but it is an asset that gives them power and voice. And in order to accomplish all of this in my classroom, I had to really transform a lot of my current classroom practices, change the structure, which ultimately led to an increased rigor within my classroom. And I'm really proud to say that my students met that increased rigor with a greater sense of purpose that ended up extending into their overall involvement in our greater school community. So this year, I had more students than ever participate in after-school sports. I had a lot of students turning in the majority of their schoolwork. I had many students actually also ask to be a part of developing cultural diversity lessons alongside our plurilingual task force, and they took the initiative to become a part of this. In addition to that, I had one of my ELD 1 students join and become a member of ASB. And I had several students participate in our school-wide soapbox speech competition. Even more touching was that my ELD 1 student who participated in the competition had several of her classmates come and stay after school to watch her deliver her speech on the need to take action against graffiti in our community. In order to do this, I really did have to brave up and make those choices and those changes in myself as an educator to see this amount of growth among my students. And I'm so thrilled and happy that I did, because I felt that not only did I grow as a person, but my students grew in their personal confidence, their academic achievement, and I felt like we ended the school year on such a high note that it was literally like an emotional goodbye party where the students were wanting to take selfies with everyone, and just that community and that sense of empowerment was beyond anything I'd ever seen. And I feel that that was possible because of this new approach to education. And it makes me happy as I'm working in the Summer Language Academy to see an extension of what we did in Project Learn with our YPAR projects, and watching our ELD 1 and 2 students over the summer be enthusiastic, showcase their voice, use translanguaging practices to empower and recognize that they themselves have a lot of power, and they have a voice that definitely deserves to be heard. So with that, we also have a presenter. So we have Gia Lopez, one of our plurilingual scholars, who is going to be presenting a poem that she created. Thank you.
Her poem is in this book, so it's page 37. It's marked for you.
Thank you.
You already have one. I'm so sorry. Thank you. And these are not a gift of public funds.
you.
These were a gift of Brian funds. So you can follow along if you like. That was for Joe Carmona. 37. Page 37.
Hi,
My name is Gia Lopez. I would like to tell you a little about myself. I came to California on December 2019. I started school on January 2020, and I was in ELD. Then I became a junior, and I started going to SLA program online.
Thank you.
And I will be honest with you, I felt a strong connection with the students as well with the teacher. They make me feel that my voice matter. SLA changed me as a person because it taught me how to speak up for myself without being ashamed of my accent, without being scared of what the other person is going to say, to always say my opinion, but being respectful about it. It helped me to understand other people's point of view besides mine, and I will end up reading my poem. If I were to change the world, I would cancel discrimination. I would cancel division between cultures. I would even cancel hate to people, cultures, and languages. If I were in charge of the world, tendrían que dejar de criticar a la gente por la religión en la que creen. People should be stopped criticizing other people just because of the religion they believe in. There will be respect to everyone. There will be even world peace. If I were in charge of the world, no serías discriminado por tu acento o tu color de piel. You shouldn't be discriminated against because of your accent and your skin color. No serías aislado de la gente. No tendrías que cambiar solo para encajar en algún grupo. You shouldn't be isolated from people. You should not have to change just to fit into a group or place. If I were in charge of the world, no habría más odio, solo porque simplemente no te gusta lo que la sociedad dice o como siempre se ha hecho. There will be no more hate, just because you don't like what the society says. It's always been done like that. And a person who doesn't discriminate, it's always a better person, and sometimes love makes everything better. We'll still be allowed to have our own opinions, but never hurt people in charge of the world. Thank you.
Fabulous, right? So fabulous. One of, I think, at least 3 students that were featured from Anaheim Union High School District in Dr. Dover and Dr. Farah Rodriguez-Vai's new book. And I earmarked the pages for the board members. I think I earmarked them for you too, as I gave them to you. Brad Jackson, I owe you a copy. Same with you, Carl. But yes, you can see throughout that book, it is a partnership, definitely, between Cal State Fullerton and Anaheim Union High School District and the great work that we do together. So with that, we definitely want to say, queremos decir gracias, right? Do some translanguaging and say thank you to you. President Al-Jabbar, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Executive Cabinet, you've always been very supportive of our newcomer plurilingual scholars, all of our scholars, and making sure that we serve them to our best ability and always focus on their assets that they and their families bring. And so this is kind of a celebration, full circle. This work is now archived and definitely celebrated all over this book. So I want to take a moment definitely to have Dr. Allison Dover stand up. Dr. Farah Rodriguez-Vai's is in the back trying to hide. Just thank them. And she's hiding over there, but our Summer Language Academy principal, Claudia Ruiz, is right here, so stand up, Claudia Ruiz. Thank you for serving as our Summer Language Academy principal this summer. And so now I'd like to hand it back over to Presidente Brisa Mendoza. She's going to introduce our new board.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Brian. Well, we have a new board for 2022-2023. Natividad Vázquez, Vice Principal, President. Secretary Liliana Batanz, de Catella High School. Parlamentaria María Alejandra Barbosa, de Hope. And Community Outreach This year we have a two month. Maricela Hernandez de Savannah High School and Sofia Romero de Sycamore Junior High. Because we have a lot school, we have a lot district, we need more support.
So, but you forgot to introduce yourself as president. So
And myself, Brixa Mendoza, Savannah High School.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies.
Would you want to come up front so you could take a picture with the board?
Yes.
Oh, one more slide. I'm sorry. Oh, man, I'm eager to take the picture. All right.
Yeah, and this picture is for you, for needed. Thank you for all your support you showed to AUHSD family. We have children in our district, and we are not treated in the same manner. We truly feel respect and empowered by district. They like board. Yes. Sí, nos sentimos empoderados. Ustedes nos dan esa confianza para que nosotros podamos seguir creciendo como papás, pero también creciendo como personas. Gracias.
Gracias.
Y ahora sí la foto. The picture. Oh, ya lo dije.
Oh, I thought you said something else because I was listening. I said that they know you.
Pay attention.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
All right, let the board join us in the front.
So I'm having them bring up their certificates, and then we also would like to have Project Learn come up too, and we'll take a photo all together, unless we can do 2 photos.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you
All
want.
right, Colleen, we're gonna do 2 photos. Okay, first we're gonna do DLAC board, so come on up. And let's go ahead, we'll have our board president, please give our Alvarez flores.
All right.
Superintendent Matsuda. You're free, you don't have to stay. You're allowed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll get a picture with Manuel. Renee, they should get a picture with, you should go get a picture with them. Yeah.
Back in a minute.
This was all.
I'm gonna cry.
You see? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time you want to take a picture with Manuel Colon, I'll be here. Substitute. Just in case you miss a picture.
Although Manuel's better looking, though.
I think Mr. O'Neill's coming by.
I don't think so. No.
We're just waiting for Mr. O'Neill, but
She has other daughters. Oh, they're perfectly fine. They just made sure they
oh, that's John. Okay.
Where did
Oh, there he comes.
We lost somebody.
All right. Well, let's get back to business here. It's items of business number 12, educational services, adoption of local control and accountability plan, our LCAP, and the annual update. It's an action item.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
This was the last
Sing-
one.
Yep.
A lot of work.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Manuel, for all the work and leadership that you gave with this for umpteen years, since the inception of it. So, like I said, next time I'll substitute for you, so.
You're gonna do all the work?
Well, not really, not that part.
Hey, are
Just
you
the
gonna come
pictures.
back and do the work?
All right, well, thank you very much. All right, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Perfect, thank you. We got 12.2, resolution number 2021-2022-B-2022, committed fund balance, general fund, roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, and this is a roll call vote. So Ms. Piercy,
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo,
Aye.
Ms. Smith, Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. 12.3, resolution number 2021//2022-B-23, adjustments to income and expenditures, general fund, resolution number 2021//2022-B-24, adjustments to income and expenditures, various funds, and proposed budget, all funds. It's a roll call vote. I'll entertain a motion.
You need
So
a
moved.
motion.
I have
Second.
I have a motion and a second, and we'll go into our vote. Ms. Piercy,
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. 12.4, resolution number 2021/2022-B-25, education protection account, roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, I will start with a vote. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. 12.5, resolution number 2021/2022-B-26, authorization of approval of vendor claims slash orders. Roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. 12.6, resolution number 2021/2022-B-27, signature authorization. Roll call vote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. Resolution number, item number 12.7, resolution number 2021/2022, B-28, Cal Shape Ventilation Program Award.
So moved.
Action item. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. 12.8, resolution number 2021/2022-B-29, Cal Shape Ventilation Program Award. Action
So
item.
moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. 12.9, resolution number 2021/2022-B-30, award request for proposals, 2022-18, district-wide copy and print services. Roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Any questions? No. All right. Ms. Piercy?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill?
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. 12.10, resolution number 2021/2020-E-26, the Arts and Music in Schools Funding Guarantee and Accountability Act. Roll call vote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Piercy?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill?
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. Go to 12.11, resolution number 2021/2022-BOT-05, condemning gun violence and promoting safety in schools.
So
Roll call
moved.
vote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody have anything to say?
Let's hope, well,
No, I'm
let's
just
hope more
glad-
happens about, preventing this, and we definitely are against it, and we promote safety in schools to the best of our abilities. Let's just hope that some of the things that are happening in our society right now will, solve this problem.
Absolutely, and thank you. And once we take the vote, can we send a copy of this to our local congressman and possibly maybe the Orange County delegation, because obviously it's an Orange County-related issue as well. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Ms. Piercy?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Definitely aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill?
Absolutely aye.
I vote absolutely aye. All right, we'll go to business services. 12.12, agreement, California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA Environmental Services Chambers Group, Inc.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Have a
Second.
action item. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 12.13, award request for proposal RFP 2022-29, Financial Advisory Services, Kegent LLC.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Educational Services, 12.14, Revised Board Policy 8900, parentheses 5145.3, non-discrimination / harassment, second reading, information and action
Second.
item. I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 12.15, Educational Consulting Agreement, Scaling Student Success, a project of community partners. Action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 12.16, Agreement, UCLA Graduate School of Education and Information. Action item.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
No, very, Very good. Thank you. This is a good item. I am definitely in favor of this.
On her leadership with the math task force.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you very much. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 12.1 contract independent comprehensive vision assessment, Dr. Doug Stiffy.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
No.
Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Human Resources, 12.12, salary increase for executive director, grade,
12.18.
I'm sorry, 12.18. Whew. Salary increase for executive director, Greater Anaheim Special Education Local Plan Area, GASALPA.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Superintendent's Office, 12.19, employment agreement with superintendent, action item.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 13, consent calendar. Any items to be pulled?
13.29.
Move for the balance?
Second?
Second.
I have a motion for the balance and a second. Any questions or comments? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving to 13.29.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
It doesn't,
Yeah.
no.
No, yeah.
Keep going.
Keep
Go on,
going.
abstain.
And any abstention?
Abstain.
I have one abstention. It's a vote of 4-0-1.
One.
All right. We are at the end. All right, we'll go to superintendent and staff report.
Just have one thing to say. Manuel, we love you, and aloha in Hawaii.
I was just going to say the same thing. We will miss you terribly. Have fun, and we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, we love you, Manuel. You're the best, and it's not going to be the same here without you.
And I echo everything that they said. You've always been one of the kindest people to me ever since I came to the district, and I have always appreciated that, and I'll take it with me. So congratulations.
All right, I also want to give the floor back to.
We'll do a round two. Dr. Egan's, congratulations. We love you as well.
All right.
Yes, congratulations.
All right, well, thank you very much, folks, and well, I'll keep my comments. I'm going to go ahead and Board of Trustees report. Go ahead.
Oh, you got to start with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so basically, since the last board meeting, I went to the, okay, I have to say this, the Magnolia agricultural thing, I went to that first thing they had there, and I loved looking at it and everything. And then I was able to, donate a couple of things to the garden through the Assistance League that I'm a part of. But I was really disappointed when you guys were talking about the first harvest, and I didn't hear anything about it. But then I went home and I started reading my emails. Well, I hadn't read my emails for a couple of days, but this was last minute notice, and so I was really hurt until I read that, and I went, okay, well, I try to get to my emails on time, but I don't always
Have some
get to
tomatoes at home. Do you want me to send it to you?
No. The what? You
Have
have
some
tomatoes?
tomatoes.
Oh, well, I'm going to have a lot too, but I still wanted to be there and see it because I wanted to get to the berries. That was the best part.
I'll show you some pictures. It was really nice.
Okay, good. So anyway, next time I want to be notified ahead, and if they don't send, if they only send an email, call me. Okay. I attended insurance meeting, and then I went to the Buena Park State of the City, and this time they did say some things about Anaheim Union. Yeah, because I basically went up to the city manager and I said, if you guys don't talk about us this time, I'm not coming anymore. But he did. So he heard me the last time, I guess. Then I went to I think I went to a discipline meeting. Did we cancel that one? There was something we canceled. Okay. And then I also went to the Cypress community, the Policeman's Appreciation Luncheon. And, I try to support that each year. And then, of course, our graduations. I went to the Hope graduation and Oxford and Magnolia and Western and Cypress and Kennedy, but I missed a couple of them, so. But I did also go to our retirement tea. We did have one this year in person, which was nice. We had a few of our retirees show up, you know. Hopefully next year we can do something a little bit sooner and get more. And then, of course, Manuel went to you and Jackie's retirement party. I'm going to miss you. Who am I going to unload my tomatillas on? No, and my tomatoes, you know. You appreciated my tomatoes too, so. But anyway, so best of luck. Enjoy your vacation. I know you'll be around. We're going to see you. You can't just totally disappear. So.
So you say. So you say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I attended the graduations, and I'm proud to say that I attended all of our graduations this year. I want to applaud. This is too hard. I want to applaud Shenanigans, as she's affectionately known. Shauna, your team did a fabulous job this year. I think it was just a wonderful celebration, you know, from last year to this year. I think everyone was just delighted. It was just such a celebratory moment. Everything, for the most part, went without a hitch. It wasn't anything that the team did, maintenance. I mean, everything was beautiful. The sound we could hear, you know, everything was just really celebratory. The families were incredibly happy to be able to be on the field, and it was just really a wonderful tribute to, you know, the whole year, the celebration. Thank you for putting that together so well and executing that. It's your swan song, and we appreciate all the work that you've done. You're leaving behind such big shoes to fill. You took our district from, oh gosh, where were we? With the number of suspensions, the number of, I think, discipline actions that I think were just really, they were punitive to more of a restorative, a lot due to part of the work of the district, but your individual, I don't want to say confrontations, but collaborative work with our administrators, and those conversations were courageous. So I have to commend you to bringing our district to, I mean, we don't even have any, hardly any expulsions. And we work collaboratively with our team to really find creative solutions for a lot of our students. And you've helped shape that culture of kindness, our fifth C in our district. And I'm going to miss you. So thank you so much, Shauna, for everything that you've done. And I attended the Delegate Assembly, and I attended our ROP meetings where Al and I learned that Superintendent Jan Marino was moving on to another district due to personal reasons. She and her husband had been working in 2 different cities, and it was growing hard for her to work here without him and vice versa. So she made the decision to, because they have property in the desert, so she's going to be working there. And so we put our new superintendent through the ringer. I'll proudly to say that. He didn't just get appointed, arbitrarily. We interviewed him, and it was a 2-hour gruesome interview for him. And not only did he have to answer the questions, but he had to answer follow-up questions. I think that was a really tough interview for him. but he came out of it, I think, all the better. He earned that position. So Dana Lynch, new superintendent for ROP. I attended the employee recognition night at the Angel Stadium. That's always fun to get to go to a game and celebrate all of our employees. I attended the Classified Employee of the Year celebration. It was really fun. Hopefully next year we can do it in person. The retirement tea was intimate, but very special. The Magnolia Farm, and of course, Manuel and Jackie Count's retirement. That was just a really wonderful celebration. I really loved that clip that they found of you, Manuel. That was awesome. That was really on the Christina show. I actually know who that is. I watch it, even though it's in Spanish, I watch it sometimes because it's very sensational. And I didn't quite understand, you were advocating for for identity of being a English language student, or go ahead and explain that clip.
It was about identity. It's about who I am and going through the challenges of being an immigrant and speaking multiple languages, and the challenges of just being proud of who I am. And so that's what the poem was about.
And you look exactly the same.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you.
Exactly the same. Only difference
Exactly
is
the
the hair
same.
color, that's all.
That was amazing. That was amazing. But Manuel, whenever I think about our district and I think about you, I've always thought that you've been our heart, our heart in the, in our district, and you're leaving such a legacy behind. That's just what I think about you. All the programs that you have started, and they're really not programs. They're just a part of what we do. Hate to clarify them in that sense, but I know you've put your heart and soul, and I know that we will carry on your legacy. You have so much to be proud of. My goodness, our AIM program, our partnerships, our collaborative. I think the tributes started coming in as soon as you announced your retirement. So I know that today I don't want to cry. I want this to be a celebration of you, but just know that you're really leaving. You're leaving just so much for us. Big shoes for Robert to fill in taking your place. I always remember the first LCAT meeting and just how amazing it was for you to get all those people to, to get in sync. And that's what you do. You get all of us in sync and to be like-minded and think of the children and think of the district as a whole. And I'm going to miss you a lot. And I thank you tremendously for everything that you've done. I know that thank you is not enough, but it's coming from every part of who I am and what I believe in, and I thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ms. Randall-Trejo. Ms. Smith?
I don't have much to report other than I attended the insurance committee meeting, but I think it's obvious to everyone that I am nursing myself from a nasty fall 6 weeks ago, and I've been told it's going to be possibly another 4 to 5 months that I'm going to be dealing with it. So it makes me particularly sad because I couldn't attend your event. And I'm happy and sad tonight because people like you and Shauna have made the joy of this job in all the years that I have worked here. So many people have come and gone, and some you could say goodbye to, and others, they take part of your heart away. And I'm going to say that about you too. And then I look at Patty here and the work you have put into the reports and the massive amount of energy and knowledge and background and education and experience it takes to do your jobs. And the general public doesn't even understand what you do, Renee. They don't even have a grip because they don't know about your entity within this system. And then I look back at Miss Psychology back there. And what you do and how big it is and how grandiose the job has become. And then people talking about community schools and new jobs of going to this or retiring, and it's part of life. And life sometimes is happy and sad. So I'm saying tonight, I'm really sad because I know I'll probably never see you again. But I know, Shauna, that wherever you are going to be, the people you're going to be working with, they're going to feel the same joy that I think I can say that everybody has had here working with you. You are truly beautiful. And I've told you that a zillion times. I know it every time I'm here. Well, you truly, your mom and dad just created a wonderful human being. And so what a gift. And I want to thank you. And Manuel, your mom and dad created a wonderful person. And I just will miss you, but you'll always be close in my heart with wonderful memories. And I want to thank everybody. And I haven't specifically said anything about Paulina and Connie, but they're at the tip of the iceberg of wonderful human beings, capable, responsible, energy, and all the things that make a country and a community better. So from my heart, I want to thank each and one of you.
You forgot John.
Pardon?
You forgot John. He's over there, he's pouting.
Oh, my God.
He's sitting behind that so you couldn't see him.
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. O'Neill.
Oh, yeah. It's always great to be able to end a meeting with some laughter, isn't it? So I have attended most of the, or what they have said, I've attended meetings, so I'll really quick. Attended I think it was 6 or 7 graduations, always great. And Shauna did a great job this year in converting the process into something even better than we had before. Retirement tea is always fun. It was very small this year, but it was still nice. Buena Park State of the City, as Ms. Percy said, they actually talked about the schools, so we were very pleased to hear about that. They actually said a few, more than just a couple words too, which is great to hear. I think new city manager, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why. Magnolia Farm was a great experience. I didn't get to go to the first harvest, but I've seen what's going on there, and that's a fantastic experience. Looking forward to seeing it when the new school year starts up and see where we go from there. I attended the Anaheim Secondary Council PTA dinner. Very small event, sort of like the tea. Many people didn't show up that said they were going to show up, but I have to hand it to Peggy Cruz. She came through. She really pulls the PTA together for the district, and she just keeps right there and keeps working hard. So I have to hand it to her. I went to Manuel and Jackie's retirement dinner, party, event, celebration, and it was all of that. And it was fun to see and hear about your lives in education. And I have to. I'm not going to repeat what they've said. They've said a lot about you. I remember when we first hired you and watched you progress through the various positions through the district. And every time you moved, you left shoes to fill. And it was obvious when you came into the district office that you were going to really be someone that we could count on to move us forward, and look where we are today. So I know you're going to go into your next childhood and have a great time with your wife and family. And it's, you know, you have years ahead of you to go and have fun and enjoy the other side of the world now. So relax, enjoy what you have coming. And Shauna, you too, you're not going to be relaxing, but it's going to be but it's going to be a whole new life for you. I wish you well. It's going to be exciting for you, I know. And I know you'll do a good job for that school district, and now we have to fill your shoes. So I'm looking forward to that event to happen. I think I've covered everything. Other than that, I haven't done anything.
Except John.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. What can I say?
Okay, let me start with John. John, I just love your hair, man. All right, well, the graduations were phenomenal. Again, Shauna, thank you for leading that team. I attended all but one, which is the Oxford Academy graduation. I would have been there, but unfortunately, things were unraveling in Anaheim, so I had to be at the city council meeting to give a piece of my mind. So, but it was great. All of the graduations were great. I think none of the graduations had anything that we could even say that something was wrong. So I think everything went on smoothly. So that's your leadership. So thank you, and we're going to miss that. I couldn't attend the retirement tea. I was looking forward to it, especially to see you, but fortunately I get to see you at another event too. But yeah, so my regrets on that one. The Mac farm, I have great pictures of awesome produce that we harvested, so it was really nice to see that. And we connected with Ponderosa community, where they actually put together more than 20 boxes of food, and they dropped it off at Ponderosa community. So it went to some of the families that are part of AUHSD. So that was awesome to see. And what was even better to see was our students actually first time giving us tours of the farm, and they were so great. And we were talking about the work that they're doing at the iLab related to the MAC and how they're planning marketing. And I was just talking about the experience that we're giving our students, which is phenomenal. Some of that, I wouldn't have had it even in college. So our AUHSD students are going in the right direction. We attended the ROP superintendent search. It was on a Sunday afternoon. We went all the way till from Sunday afternoon from, I think it was at 12:30 all the way to like 5:36. So we did put the new superintendent through the ringer. We got a great one. So we wanted to say thank you to Terry J. Moreno for years of service, but also congratulations to Dana Lynch. Anaheim Union, Supervisor Doug Chafee's office actually has a program which is Future Leaders. I was glad to see some of our AUHSD students participating in it, and they were taking a lead role. So congratulations to our students there. I also participated in Sharon Quirk-Silva's Gun Violence Awareness Month press conference that she had. We had quite a few number of elected leaders and also school board members who spoke, and I was one of them. Spoke against some of the violence that's happening. And then Shauna, congratulations again. And I always want to thank you for picking up my phone call 8 o'clock at night or sometimes during the weekend when stuff happens, and you are readily available to assist and get me the information. I really appreciated it. Please don't change your phone number. Pass it on to... Well, I'm not going to call you about AUHSD issues. I was just going to say give that phone number to whoever is going to fill in and let them know that I'll be doing the same. But no, I want to thank you in all seriousness for the work that you did all these years with AUHSD, and congratulations to you. And I'm sure that you're going to do some great work in your new district. So thank you. Having said that, my twin brother, Manuel, I did offer to stand in for you for pictures, but for a charge. But I just want to tell you, thank you for all the service that you did to AUHSD. I remember, I don't know if you remember, but I remember our first conversation was at the Anaheim Marriott Hotel, Heath dinner. I think I was talking to Mike about getting some information about AUHSD and Sycamore, and they pointed to you and said, he's the guy. And I remember sitting there just with you and me sitting, and you just kind of gave me the rundown of Sycamore Junior High, Anaheim High School, and I think you were at Sycamore at that time, so you were kind of giving me what you did, and that just opened up my eyes. So I want to thank you for even, reaching out and doing the work that you do now, but you did it with such ease. So I want to thank you. And I think I said it at your retirement. There are people in the community still remember the impact that you had on their lives. And I think it was also evident when we had the collaborative. I was surprised to see the vice president of Fulton College being one of your students. So that's huge. That shows the depth and the impact that you had in our community. So thank you for your service. Appreciate it. We're going to miss it, but by all means, enjoy Hawaii and enjoy retirement. So thank you. Please, I know I'm going to get your private number, which I think I have. I'm going to call you. So thank you. All right. So advanced planning, future meeting dates. Our next meeting of Board of Trustees will be held on Thursday, July 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Any suggested agenda items? 16.2? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Moved. I have a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries